Dozens of tourists are in hospital this morning following a devastating bus accident on the Coquihalla Highway. The crash happened yesterday afternoon just south of Merritt. The bus flipped, skidding along the highway before ending upright. All 56 passengers were injured, several of them seriously, 5 of them critically. 19 ambulances and 6 air ambulances rushed all the victims to 3 regional hospitals, including Kamloops, operating under a code orange to handle mass casualties.
So when a code orange is actually called, staff are called in to obviously provide, especially in our critical care areas. So in the emergency department, diagnostic imaging, we want to make sure that we have all the staff available to provide that critical care in a timely fashion.
The bus was reportedly carrying Chinese tourists heading to Vancouver on a tour operated by Richmond-based Super Vacation. A busy street in Surrey is expected to be closed for the entire morning commute thanks to an overnight accident. It happened just before 2 o'clock this morning at 132nd Street and Old Yale Road. Crews on scene say it appears a truck ran a red light, hit another truck, and one of the vehicles slammed into a power pole which collapsed, sending live wires crashing to the ground. There are reports one of the drivers ran away. The area may be shut down for up to 8 hours. Drivers will be able to access the Patello Bridge earlier than anticipated this Labor Day long weekend. The bridge will be closed at 9 o'clock tonight and will reopen tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. It was originally supposed to be shut down until Monday. Crews have been repairing and repaving sections of the concrete deck of the 77-year-old span. Work is expected to finish ahead of schedule. A terrifying incident in the Surrey Central area has RCMP warning residents to keep homes secure, especially parents. This after the abduction and assault of a 9-year-old girl.
I got 2 girls, and they're about the same age, and it's scary. It's happening in your almost in your backyard.
The girl was in bed at 9:30 on Wednesday night at her home around 128th Street and 99th Avenue. A man lured her out of her room from an open window on the ground floor at the back of the house. She was taken to a nearby park and was sexually assaulted. The man left her in a neighbor's yard and told her to stay there.
Whether she knew him at this point, it doesn't appear as though that is the case. We're going to revisit her again and sit down. You can only imagine, very traumatic and confusing for a 9-year-old.
The girl was taken to hospital to be treated. Police are not releasing a description of the suspect until they get more information. Heavy smoke is shrouding the Oak Street Bridge in Vancouver this morning after a fire at a recycling facility. For more on this, Greg Harper joins us live from near the Oak Street Bridge with the details. Greg.
Good morning, Kyle. Yes, lots of smoke here this morning, and behind me you can see Vancouver firefighters putting out a number of fires. This is a fire that started around 3:30 this morning inside of a recycling facility, which is just under the Oak Street Bridge, right at the border of Vancouver and Richmond. Sandy Gerhard is the battalion chief here this morning. He's taking a bit of time out to join us, which we appreciate. What are you dealing with here this morning?
Well, what we have here is a recycling plant. We've got large compressed bales of paper, probably about 700 pounds each. We're dealing with somewhere about 200 to 300 of them that have been stacked together. Fire was caused by another incident south of us. So we have to basically take all these bales one by one apart and put them out. So we're going to be here for a couple hours yet.
Okay, so you mentioned an incident just south of us. Just south of us, we observed an abandoned vehicle, some other materials. This is where you're saying the fire started. What exactly is there, and how did it start?
The fire is under investigation as far as the source, but there was another fire adjacent to this property. So it's still under investigation as to the cause and the exact start.
Is it being considered suspicious? Is that safe to say?
It's being considered suspicious, yeah.
Okay. How long do you think it'll be before you're able to put this out? Because I know you're dealing with a number of bales of flattened cardboard and also paper inside.
Estimate, we'll be here for a couple hours anyway. We're only through about a quarter of the bales, and we're just peeling each one, one by one. We've got 2 operators from the facility helping us out right now.
Okay, thanks for joining us this morning. That's the latest here, Kyle. Vancouver firefighters still dealing with the fire here inside of a recycling facility just under the Oak Street Bridge. bridge. Kyle?
All right, Greg, thanks very much for that. Also this morning, police are investigating after a man was stabbed in Burnaby overnight. It happened at Kingsway in Willingdon shortly before 3 o'clock. RCMP officers chased the suspect down with a police dog. An arrest was made a short time later. There's no word, though, on how the victim is doing in hospital. More violence in Surrey overnight. A woman was stabbed at around 2:30 this morning at King George Boulevard and 80th Avenue. A man ran away from the scene on foot. He was also possibly stabbed. So far, no arrests have been made. The two sides in the BC teachers dispute will meet once again today with the clock ticking towards the scheduled start of school.
I've had a meeting for the last 2 or 3 hours with both negotiators. It was a very candid exchange about the differences in their position. They still are a long ways apart.
Mediator Vince Reddy met face-to-face in Richmond yesterday with Teachers Federation President Jim Eicher and Chief Government Negotiator Peter Cameron. Reddy asked both men to meet again today with their full bargaining teams in the hopes of making some actual progress. For now, teachers have not committed to returning to classes on Tuesday while this dispute plays out, as requested by the province.
There was plenty of time in the summer, and we were ready. We're ready right now. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's get the deal done.
Are you more optimistic now?
I don't actually want to characterize that. I'm not pessimistic at this point, but yes, it went on for a long time, and there was quite a thorough discussion of things. Pretty frank. It's good.